That was way too fast. No, 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 no. See, now you can do it. Now you can do it.
Oh, now I can. Hello,
The
summoners.
one time it wasn't
One.
laggy. The one singular time. All right.
Hello, summoners. Welcome to another pulse pounding, lightning inducing, tower ascending episode of the Awesome Nature's Guide to Summoners War. I am the leprechaun hunting
Mm,
Aztec Olmec, but it wouldn't be a proper episode if I didn't have the four-leaf clover finding
mm.
Lightstar 777 with me. Three sevens,
Three.
not two.
Very lucky. Dia Switch, Kanasatatu, Tame fucking delighted that you are all here today. Aztec, as always, how are you, my friend? Happy day of everybody on the planet being Irish.
That was yo. Run it back. Were you just speaking Gaelic?
Yes, just a little.
Do that again. Forget how I'm doing good. Do that again.
Dia Switch,
That was
Kanasatatu,
awesome.
Tame delighted that you're here today. Ola Nishka.
Awesome. Just to answer your question, I'm doing very well.
Ah,
St. Patrick's Day. Um, and I'm gonna tell everyone a fun fact about my favorite Irish inventor,
yes.
Hans Sloane. Hans
Han
Sloane invented
Sloan.
one of my favorite things. He invented chocolate milk.
You have to love
But
that.
more importantly, where did he invent chocolate milk? He invented it in Jamaica. So
Who'd have
that's
thought
your
that?
Irish Jamaican
Who would have
fact
thought that?
for
And, think of
and
all those years
chocolate milk.
later, and two best friends happen to have connections to Ireland and Jamaica and come together weekly to
Yes,
amuse all of you. Who'd have thought?
comedy.
We should be drinking. You know what?
I
We better talk to Nestle post haste and just tell them that we may as well be a brand
oh
sponsor for
taste.
them. Yeah. I mean,
Might as well.
we may as well
Chocolate
be
milk.
brand ambassadors. There isn't a better team to do it, right? Really, I mean,
Not at all. But I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
of course,
We have a whole bunch of comedy things to talk about.
all the
Um,
things.
we're going to introduce some um, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier things. We are going to talk all about
On your
the
left,
Wind Pirate, and she was because she was one of
Wind
our heroes.
Pirate.
She's we're gonna talk the Fire Oni refund. We're gonna talk about how
Hmm.
awesome Lightstar's Water Oni is. We're gonna talk some, the Genshin hangout with your favorite character meetup kind of feature they're adding, and we're gonna talk some Elite Dangerous with the voice pack testing. But you always ask me how I am. How are you, Lightstar 777? You're
I am.
always so nice to ask, and I never ask. I'm pretty sure I never ask because I'm a freaking jerk.
No, no, you're fine.
But how are you? How are you?
I am doing well. I I had a very long work week. It was
Oh,
not fun. One day I only got about 3.5 hours of sleep, so that was
what?
unpleasant. But here we are,
Wicked.
still in one piece. So there you go.
Awesome.
Nothing bad with that. And it is everybody in the world is Irish Day, so
Yes.
and my wife, she happens to be an import from the great nation of Ireland itself. So
She's actually really Irish. She's
she's
Irish all the time,
she
not
is
just on St. Patrick's.
365, sometimes 366 a year.
Absolutely. Shout out to you, Pauline.
Yeah,
Thanks for
shout out to
thanks for
Pauline.
listening.
You're the best. Oh, she gives a
Awesome.
thumbs up. Isn't she sweet? But yeah, we are going to just very informally, we talked about this just getting right off the top here. Um the fact that we discussed from the One Bagel video, if it was worth it
Right.
to refresh the magic shop for scrolls. And my
Yes.
fingers kept hitting the button like multiple times, so I think it is not like, this is in no way official by any stretch of the imagination. I want that known. But I ended up refreshing approximately the 750, I think a little bit less. And I did, in
Okay.
fact, get 11 scrolls or more. But I also got other things that I think more than, like, if you have the time, and I think that's what it all comes down to, is
Right.
if you have the time to actually dedicate to the possibility of refreshing 1,000,001 times to get to 750 crystals, it was definitely worth, because there were runes that if I were, mid game or early game, I definitely think I would have, you know, I would have probably bought them, like
Right.
very nice legend runes that could really help push an account forward. So, I mean,
So
for
it's
me,
not just scrolls; it's other stuff.
yeah, I mean, I got light and dark pieces, I got legendary
Right.
pieces. So for me, I think, and I mean, and that was very informal. I'll probably try it again here one of these days and just make sure that it works out the way I feel like it should. But
Hmm.
all that being said, I definitely think that it it really was it was pretty good. It was exactly what I kind of expected. I mean, even if it matched the 750, like I said, it was that, you get the added benefit of all the other things added in. So for my two cents,
Gotcha.
that's where I'm at. That's
So you would say refresh over buying
it, if you
packs.
have the time.
Got you.
Because, I mean, you got to figure it takes at least 3 to 4 seconds to scroll down the list. It probably takes
Right.
another couple seconds to hit the refresh button, couple seconds to reload. So you're looking at like about 7 seconds per rotation, right?
Right.
And you're doing that like 180 times. So 180 times 7 seconds is a poop ton of time. A
I
poop
know you're
ton.
not trying to, but I get you. If you have the time, refresh. If you do not have the time, get those packs. But I kind of want to save mine for energy refreshes. I have a ton of energy that I have to burn through, so energy refreshes will be my thing going
Yeah.
forward.
But like
For
I
my
said, I mean,
crystals.
at least
Mhm.
as we figured, it informally at least did work out that you got just as many,
Yes.
if not more, scrolls plus added other benefits. So,
Yeah.
I mean, again, it definitely is worth it. So, I think if I have a few minutes, I would always refresh like 10 or 12 times just to kind of, get a lay of the land, so to speak.
I
But
hear
yeah,
you.
I thought, yeah, pretty great. Pretty awesome sauce. Loved it. Signed up for it. Followed them on Facebook.
Excellent. So I want to talk a little bit about Sophia. She was just Hall of Heroes last week. I've been using her. I want to send a big shout out to Xenial Gaming because he really put me on to how ridiculous Sophia is. She is like the staple of my well, one of the main people in my Giants team. And not only is she a wind unit, but she has this great S3. I don't know. It's just wonderful.
And what
And
is
the
it?
only
What
reason
does
I'm
it
doing this
do?
is
Maybe I don't know. Just
well,
read it. Just read it out. Just
well,
give it a little
yeah, this
read
is
read.
definitely for people that just picked her up and actually want to build her. But S3 Spitting Slash attacks an enemy 5 times, dealing massive damage. Each attack has a 50% chance to decrease the target's defense for 2 turns. This attack depletes the enemy's attack bar when used with full HP. So excellent, 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 excellent. kills your attack bar, and does some massive damage. So it's pretty much you're like locked down for that, for that turn because your attack bar is set to 0. But anyway,
Yeah,
really,
I mean that.
S2 just as good. Oh, go ahead, please.
Oh no, I mean that does sound great. Did Zenial say anything about the fact that once you're in the middle of the battle, if she's not at full HP, she loses effectiveness, or is she still effective even when she's not at 100% health?
She is still pretty effective even at when she's not at 100% health, but it only depletes the bar fully when she has full HP. It still affects the attack bar pretty significantly even if she isn't full HP.
And is it a single
Great
target
question.
or
This is also,
multi?
yeah, she's totally single target. She doesn't do any AoE, but her S2 is awesome also. Inflicts damage with a sharp attack and inflicts continuous damage for 1 turn. Increases the attack bar by 100% when used with full HP. So again,
Nice.
so she kind of boosts her own attack bar when she uses her S2, which she has full health. She can do a spinning slash and attack with even just I don't know. She's just awesome. I ruined her Rage and Blade, and
Nice.
she's just great. Attack, speed, and crit damage. You can definitely do fatal if you don't have good blade runes and everything. But I just wanted to point her out, and she does. I mean, yeah, she's great in Giants. She's pretty good. I haven't used her too much in Punishers at all, but she's very good in RTA and Arena. So check her out. She's definitely not one of these useless, Hall of Heroes units. So
And
yeah,
how do you
yeah,
feel like she ranks versus her sisters, like the Fire Purette and
good
the Water
question.
Purette Julia?
Very good question. I think she ranks, I would say, number 1 to definitely Sophia, number 2 to what's the Clara, the fire pirate, and number 3 to Julia, just because
Wow.
Julia is yeah, no, Julia's pretty good. I have a Julia and I've
Julia and
built her up pretty
Lucian
well.
are like the dynamic duo of cleaving your team.
But for my account, I have so many other units that kind of do AoE. Shihao, first of all. Shihao is definitely my
Single
Julia
target.
replacement.
Single target.
Which you
He's single
what's
target.
up?
He's single target.
Oh, oh no, he does AoE also.
On his S3? Thought it was a
On
single
his
target.
S3?
Let's go to the box. He's right there. I see him.
Let's
I see him.
go.
He's just over there.
Yep. All or nothing. Attacks all enemies and stuns them. Yeah.
Huh.
On his S2. Yeah.
Oh, on his S2. I was thinking
Mhm.
his S3. That's why I was confused. Oh, yeah.
No, not at all. But for my account, I haven't really used Julius since I got Shihao because he does so many other things. But yes, I have heard that Julia is a pretty awesome, Cleavy, basically a warrior Lucian. But I think
Yeah,
Clara has
but
more.
good for RTA because when you can't have more than one unit and you have to diversify.
Good point.
But as you say,
Diversify your
but if you have
box.
Shia, you got to diversify your stocks, yo.
Wu-Tang Financial. Anyway,
ODB
that was
couldn't be
old,
here. ODB couldn't be here, but he sends his regard.
that was an old Chappelle Show skit that we're obsessed with the Chappelle Show. But anyway, sorry to die. But yes, since I haven't, but those would be my. I think Clara has a couple more places where she's useful, a little bit more utility. Siege and such like that. So that's the reason I would put her at number 2 over Julia. But yeah, 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, please, if you want a good, single target nuker, Sophia is cool. She was Hall of Heroes, so hopefully you got her, and you can skill her up pretty well. because 4 star and such and stuff.
Right,
But
and
yeah,
I know you wanted to talk about this guy
next topic.
over here. No, I mean you're right. She is great single target. Anything that does that kind of cloud control and all of that, like, is magnificent. And I mean, you,
Yes.
you can't really go wrong with monsters like that. So, I mean, what's more to say? I love HOH monsters. I love that they give us things that can be useful. But you did ask about this. So, Einherry, the light Giants warrior, there have been some teams out there, and I was telling Aztec that I regret
Yes.
that back in my youth, I had 3 Skogels, and I decided
Right.
to use one for skill ups for my primary one. And I've regretted it ever since, but I especially regretted it when I saw that people were starting to use a 5 Skogel team to just
Yes.
devastate dungeons, like all the 12 dungeons. Um, so you were asking, because I do have the light giant warrior here, if he was a
Right.
good replacement. So looking at his
Hmm.
kit, his S3, inflicting damage proportionate to your defense on all monsters except yourself, and stuns all monsters. This effect can't be resisted. Now, the problem sort of with that is he is also
Right.
damaging your team. And, you know,
Mhm.
if you have like self-sustainers or things that are going to get their HP back or things like that, that could be
Right.
good. His S2, attacking the enemy target and reducing the attack bar to 0. This attack will deal more damage according to your defense. Also, this effect can't be resisted if the enemy is granted with a harmful effect. So
Right.
basically, if he has any debuff, you're guaranteed to set him to 0. So you've got that. And then attacking the enemy and reducing the attack bar by 30% with a 50% chance, which does increase when you are there. Um, so I mean, that being said, let me find him here so I can compare them. I don't,
Right.
just off the top of my head, I don't see him being a perfect replacement for Skogel, because
Okay.
you have a passive with Skogel that you can't counterattack or attack together with other allies while the weapon is not in your hand, but your defense increases by 50% and also decreases the cooldown time when you're attacked. So, if you have a bunch of them all together, they're all
Right.
going to be reducing their cooldown for their S2, which is the Atlas Stone. You throw your weapon up in the sky, shares damage with all enemies by the amount of your max XP on your next turn, can't be counterattacked. So, again, you don't have to worry about being counterattacked, and you pretty much do, you just build him tanky as the day is long, and, you know, you do great damage. And then the same S1, the Iron Throw. So, I don't know. I mean, he's definitely a different monster. So I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's see. Let's read some of the comments. Why would you have a monster stun his own people? Yeah, I mean, put him on a raid R5 to stun other party. Okay, one person says he's tried different builds. Um, it doesn't make sense that LND Nat 4 sucks, but when Nat 4 is OP. See, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. They're literally saying he kills his own allies, which, again, if you build him
Yes.
right, he definitely could do. Like, I mean, it's very doable. You could kill
What
your
if you don't
own
really
team.
like those your own units? What if you kind of want to
Well,
like,
now,
throw a match,
now
or if you want to just
here's my
punish
thing.
your own people?
I could definitely see if you had him with a Perna or a Samanth and things like that, all
Okay.
the self-resing people on your team, because
Okay.
then
Yeah.
you kill them, they all attack at the same time, and basically in one
And you come
turn you've
back.
just triggered all your, So
That's a real YOLO team. I mean,
no, I mean that is
YOLO.
YOLO beyond YOLO. That is just yo low yo
Bro.
low. But yeah, I don't see him being a decent replacement for Skogel
Right. Not at all.
because of how he, like I said, for me, I would either be putting him with things like Suiki, the water oni, because he can
Yeah.
bring his health back up. I'd put him with like Camilla's. Like I said, maybe put him with Perna's and Samantha, so that way if he were to do damage to them and they were to get taken out, like if you have a Vanessa who can, you
Right.
know, res one person on your
Mhm.
team like before the
Mhm.
cooldown starts. I mean, like all of that. You know, I'm just thinking if ever I get a Vanessa, I would definitely only ever run her with what a Ganymede.
Yeah.
Because then you could just reset her cooldown, and basically they would just have to keep killing her over and over and over again. And my
That
Ganny
is
is so skilled up that I could probably get her ability back again before before they could
before
kill
they
him.
actually knock her off. Hmm.
I'm just saying
That's a
these are things I'll never
you
be
don't
able to
have a
do
Vanessa,
because
do you?
I don't have any
Oh man, that would
archangels.
be
I don't
that would
have
actually be
right.
okay. Let's talk about what you don't have. 'Cause,
I'm sorry, I just like to daydream about the mythical things that I'll never have,
no,
like a
I
pioneer.
would
I'll
want to
never get one of those. My account has
find
a
someone
no
with a
pioneer guarantee.
let's find someone with a Vanessa and a Ganny to test that. That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
People, if you have a Vanessa and a Ganny,
Let
do
us
that
know,
experiment and see
let
if it
us know if
actually
that
helps.
works.
But this kind of, I mean, I'm just gonna say this kind of sucks. Um, Ein Hiri is a light LD Nat 4, and he's outshined by the Wind one. Like, come on, like LND. I mean, if you get LND light, because I remember how happy you were, you got some
But
lightning
see,
on that
I'm
scroll.
still
I'm pretty
not unhappy
like,
about it. I just think that the teams you could use it on are very, very specific, and the way you play it
yeah,
has
it's
to
kind of
be
weird.
very specific. So, I mean, that's
Yes,
my thing is that I'm not opposed to that monster. I just
right.
right now in what I'm doing, I don't have the time to build it, so I can't experiment and I can't figure out
Yeah,
what should be being used, but as soon as I have more time and I can do that, I think I will find a way to enjoy that monster more.
here's a completely off kilter random fact.
Love.
Well, I don't want to say it's a fact, but anyway, it's St. Patrick's Day, and I'm just
Mm.
flipping through the box, and I only see three monsters that are green. I mean, Leo, Bernard, and Melia. And I guess Lushan. Lushan's wearing mostly green, but whatever. That was just a total tangent for St. Patrick's Day.
I like it.
Not too many green units. Anyway. But anyway, on to the next. On to the next. We don't have any spoilers this week, which is great, but we just are
But you know
going
what?
to
I know
set.
you all like my spoiler thing, so here you go. Enjoy it. Oh yeah, that was fun.
Anyway, but a new show is coming out, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The
Yeah.
Winter Soldier. So, um, just I mean, there's been a whole bunch of background from, you know, the first Captain America to, the Winter Soldier, of course,
On your
then
left.
Civil War. They kind of really fleshed out the, both of these characters. So, I can't wait. This is gonna be great. I am so happy
Yeah,
to
I
see.
mean, I have high expectations after what
Yes,
WandaVision did to me, so I
yes,
I really. Oh my god. You know what? I hit auto because I assumed I was going to
yeah,
get beat because my Masha had been brought low, brought to the ground, lost her little lion cub friend, and I just was like
and what happened?
auto hit he gave up. Like apparently my team again, Suiki for the win, just like completely self-sustained himself. My Juno, my like nobody. I lost nobody really. I only lost the pupper.
So you
That's
autoed
funny.
that whole fight.
I said auto. I set it down. I was like, oh well, I'm gonna lose. Just wait it out. That's
And you
funny.
didn't.
Nope, sure didn't.
See? Look at that. Power of positive thinking. But back to Falcon with Soldier. You know, well, last time we saw them, was obviously Infinity War.
Yep.
Cap passes the mantle onto Falcon. Um, I'm sure we're gonna see Zemo, the guy that was in Civil War, rear his head again. So he's like a really reoccurring um, Captain America villain. So I hope they introduce a couple more Cap villains. Like, I don't know, Cap has some very unusual villains.
Mm-hmm.
The Taskmaster, I think they're going to try to roll in the U.S. agent, which is another alternate, I guess, version of Captain America. But that's, I don't know. I'm this is all wishful thinking. None of this is confirmed or anything like that. But I just hope there are some very cool Captain America left winger, the right winger, Captain America themed villains in this. Who knows? Who knows?
I would enjoy that, but I have this
Yes.
weird suspicion that much like WandaVision, it's just going to be a tremendous tease that gets me really excited and then leaves me wanting. Mm-hmm.
I think that's the point. And then
I
what's
know.
really interesting is Loki is dropping also. So I'm sure after the Falcon and Winter Soldier run, Loki's going to premiere, and that
Yeah,
that looks
I'm
amazing
very
because
excited for
it's
that.
dealing more with cosmic characters that are way out there in the Marvel universe. Things like the Living Tribunal and such like that. So that's gonna be pretty epic. But yeah, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Soon. My wish list is to see some of the weirder Captain America themed villains.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they'll be dug out of the Marvel Universe pages. Um, but yeah, what's kind of cool is Taskmaster did show up in the Spider-Man video game,
Mm-hmm.
even though he's more of a Captain America type villain. He really adapted him very well, extremely well in
I mean,
the
when doesn't Jake
in
Gyllenhaal translate well? I mean, come on, come on, it's Jakey. He's fine.
So anyway, enough of that about Falcon, Winter Soldier, one
So you
arm,
know what?
two wings.
Because we were, I'm talking about Suiki. Let
Hmm?
us talk about the elephant in the room. So the Fire Onimusha refund. I
Yes.
have seen so many people who were talking about their yep, that's gone. Um about their oh well, yep, nope, that's we're just gonna auto this time for sure. I'm getting beat. Um
Oh, okay.
People were talking about their before and their after damage. And honestly, like, even with the same setup, I'm hearing people say that it's like, oh, nice, you got a scroll from a Wish. How rare.
I did. I got a scroll from a witch. How many times has that happened to me? Twice.
Once.
That's
But,
exactly today.
but, I just, I must say, I was a little bit. I was a little bit miffed because, again, yes,
Okay.
while he wasn't doing, you know, oodles and like he wasn't doing ridiculous damage with the same
Right.
setup, he was still doing pretty great damage. Now I mean, granted, it's the only one I don't have, so I can't vouch
Okay.
for it personally, but I'm still seeing people who are using it in RTA. I'm still seeing people who are making good use of that character. So I mean, again, like for me, I don't get it. I don't get the anger over the balancing. Like I don't want a character that's 4-star and literally like you said about Ein Harry, for
Right.
the fact that he's an L&D Nat 4, and he's worse
Right.
than the Nat 4 Wind one. I mean,
Yes,
it's the same kind of concept. You don't want
I agree.
a Nat 4 that is going to invalidate every Nat 5 in the game. And that's what he was doing. Like, he could do with no setup, like, stupid amount. Like, he could take out half of all of these tanky monsters, like, HP bars, like, no problem. And, I mean, again, at least for me,
Totally.
that wouldn't be that much fun because, you know, again, if I'm just like a mid game player, like if I see any team with that, like I'm pretty much like, I have no way to counter that. Like, you know,
Seriously.
but I
But
don't know. I
I'm
mean,
glad.
I'm
I'm just
glad
shocked
they
that they
let
they gave a
people,
refund. Like,
yeah, you know
how
what?
many games give refunds like this? Like MiHoYo for Genshin is definitely not going to give you a refund. And I mean, I
Bring
mean,
back
how?
Klee! Give me a Klee banner! I will
But
give you money, I promise!
why do you
I will
think
go
they
to
actually? I
Mercy.
don't want to say
I will
caved, but
go
why do
to
they?
Mercy
Why do you
for a
think they
Klee.
released? Okay, why do you think they released a refund? Because
Um,
of a
because
nerf.
I
Why do you
mean,
think?
again, I think and I'm of two minds about this. So
Okay,
I mean, understand that I can see both sides. I see the business side where you know they're trying, like they do their testing, but they're also under time frames, right? They're under,
definitely.
you know, they're under pressure to produce, test it as best they can, but they're not going
Right.
to think of every conceivable possibility. And I mean, and that's the problem. Like when you test in a sterile environment of a developer, it's like anything. You can only account for so much. So I thought the backlash where everybody was like, well, they didn't test this and they didn't test, like, oh, okay, they did, like I think they did the best they could because you're
Pretty sure
like,
they did
oh,
test it.
they didn't test this one monster, but no, it was they had 6 of them to try out and another 6 monsters to try out and make sure they were all functioning. Like, so I mean, I get it. I get that they had to they had to do it. They had to have it where you know, they had to try at least like to do what they could to test it, yes, but I mean they're not going to like focus on that one character and test against every single monster in the box and figure out like you know some of the the C1 players like, oh, are there, you know, is that going to work out for them, is that going to like be, you know, effective against their characters. So I mean, I
Right.
get that on their developer side, they probably did the best they could for testing all 12 of those monsters before they released it. So I thought the harsh criticism was a little bit overkill, if you ask me,
Okay.
um for what the kind of backlash was that they were receiving. And on the other hand, I I also see where if you really loved a monster and it just came out and you invested all your Devilmons on it and now you're not sure you
Right.
wanted to spend all that energy and resources, I could see that you're like, okay, well, we'll refund that back to you because, you know, now you're not sure that that's what you wanted to invest all those Devilmon in. And yeah, maybe you'll level him up,
Right.
maybe you'll get him to 6-star, but you don't really, you know, you don't really want to do that now. You might want to hold off for a while, right? So, and I mean, I get that if that's a way to appease the crowd, so to speak, and to, you
Right.
know, have people, you know, be happy and satisfied with what you're doing.
I don't
I
know.
mean, that's fine. But
I'm
like,
glad they did it, but I just don't really. I mean, I get why, but I don't know. I've really never seen another Cody do that, but I guess this is what makes them stand out. They want to really, really please their
right.
fans and their players and such like that,
But I
which
mean,
is
again, for me,
very
I
cool.
thought that everybody's backlash at the fact that they had to do a balance patch once it went live so quickly. Like people were so angry about it, and I never understood that kind of anger
Yeah.
because again, that's one of 12 monsters. They couldn't possibly have tested every conceivable scenario to know, oh yeah, this monster is going to break the game in half. Like, I mean, I'm sure they ran the tests and they were like, okay, it's operating the way we think it should. Seems fine to me. Like, you know, that's it. Like, I don't know. So for me,
Totally.
like I said, it was never that much of an issue for me the way that it came across. So,
I hear you. I definitely hear you. All right, let's see. Um, I want to talk about this Genshin hang out with your favorite character type feature that they're going to release in
yeah, break it down for people.
1.4.
What's it going to do?
So it's basically it's very similar to one of the levels that you did with really early on. You had to you can literally go out. I don't want to say hang out or do like a Google Hangout or do some. It's kind of a little bit more than doing missions with your character. You know, I don't know. It seems kind of unusual to me. I know Genshin is a totally different game from Summoner's War, where the characters and their backstories are kind of in the forefront. Summoner's War, we get some of the backstory. We don't get a whole long, you know, I mean, do we? I mean, in the beginning of the game, we get some hint of the storyline. This is kind of why I'm, interested in the comics and such. But with Genshin, the characters are the story.
Mm-hmm.
How the different characters interact. But in 1.4, you're going to be able to actually have like a sit down with one of your favorite character and be able to hang out with them and I guess get more of their backstory. But I find that to be kind of strange, a little bit unusual,
Yeah,
but it
it's like
is
a
a
dating sim
very
inside an RPG, inside a chocolate
exactly
nougat center.
I mean, and it looks like a lot of people one want the feature and two are going to take advantage of it.
Oh, I
I'm
will be hanging out with my characters all the time.
I hear you. So this is something that you would like. This is something that would
I mean,
provide some more
for
immersion for you.
me, and I know this is going to be a huge non sequitur, but it's like Stardew Valley. So
Okay,
I love that Stardew Valley gave you different stories and different interactions depending on who
right.
you chose to, be in a relationship with in the game, right?
Yes.
But the nice thing that I thought was, and I mean, I know it's programmed by one guy and there's a lot
Oh,
to it.
really?
Yeah, one cat,
Stardew Valley is made by one guy. Okay,
one guy.
excellent. Did not know that.
Um, but the thing is, it's like, I mean, I would love it if there was even more reason and more depth when you're in a relationship with one of them, like that. You could
Okay,
have date night. You could have because for me, like, it makes me more invested in the characters if I feel
gotcha.
like more connected to them in some way. So,
Makes
um,
perfect sense.
I don't know. So like for me, like that's just going to make me want to be, around those characters more if I know more of their backstory, if I,
Okay,
understand more about like, oh, that's what motivates this character to be that way, or that's why this character doesn't like, the Knights of Favonius or something like that. Like it's going to make me,
I hear you.
you know, whoops, did the wrong emoji for him. That's going to confuse him.
Yep,
Crying Rika,
it's
I
gonna
beat
bother.
you. I feel bad about it. That's why I was crying. I'm sorry.
Maybe you feel bad about it. It's that
Maybe I
simple.
don't though.
But no, that makes sense. I mean, I'm gonna do it purely for the story. I don't think I'm gonna get too much out of it, but I am pretty interested in these little finer tidbits of the backstory of the characters. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be linked up to the whole Mondstadt festival. type deal. So I don't know.
But see,
Might be
for
good.
me,
Might be
like
good.
anybody who
Might be a
knows
total
me
train wreck.
knows I love a good narrative device. So for me,
Definitely.
I I could not love it more that, they're going to have, more backstory. So,
More story. More story.
um so real
Absolutely.
quick, they Korean Guild suggestions that came out cuz we're kind of running low on time here now. Um
Yeah.
they definitely were talking about a Veramos buff, which confuses me a little because we did in fact buff Veramos not long ago. I mean,
Right.
maybe not long ago in my world is like 2 years, but it was when he started healing everybody when he would cleanse. So,
Right.
I mean, for me, that kind of seemed, I don't know. That kind of seemed like, that was a pretty great one. He ended up being used in the RTA, like even in the world championships he was being used. So for me, I thought that must have been a pretty significant, upgrade for them to do that. But they talked about that. They talked about speeding up rune power ups, which I could not be happier if I tried. In fact, for me,
Show my passions. Yes.
yes, if it was instantaneous, I mean, and you know me, I have said this since day one. I hate that you never know, are you going to spend 1,000 blue mana
Right.
to upgrade to that
Or
level,
two
or are
million.
you going to spend 2 million? I don't know. Like, I'm sorry, there should be a hard cap. It should, and I get that's still percentage, but it should just be 100%. Like, you fail 10 times, 100%. It should be 10% every single
A
time
penny.
you miss until it's like, boom, got it. And then I could know, I could be like, okay, to go from 0 to
Then you could budget.
15, it's going to be like
You can't budget if you don't know the
1.5
price.
million. That's fine. I know that. I want that rune at 15. Great.
That's
Um,
simple. Oh,
and we forget
well,
what the other thing was, so no big deal. But
yeah, those patch notes were pretty astute, and pretty helpful.
yeah, and there
I hope
was
all
a
those things go
Fuse
through because I want
news.
to start using Veramos again because I like them. But
Yeah.
yeah, that would be cool.
And there was a Fuse news about it, but it has since been removed. So
Yeah,
question mark.
maybe okay.
But
Dun, dun,
anyways,
dun. Mystery. So shall we do some summoning? I know you're doing only light summons because 29th
yep,
there will be summoning.
yep.
So I will be doing the majority of summoning, which is okay with me because I got a legendary and a bunch of mysticals.
I tell you what.
Is that,
Do you
that
want me to do 7 today for a little treat?
no problem?
Okay.
As long as you have enough for your birthday
Well,
summons.
again, I will never have as many as some people, but I have enough crystals that I could probably get enough packs that, I mean, pretty much my goal is that I have at least 150 things to summon. That's my goal.
Okay, right, because
Oh my
we
god, my
know out
guild
of
is
that
fighting
you're
a
gonna get.
nerdy mom club. Hmm.
Is that the name of their guild, Nerd Mom Club?
Yep.
I gotta love Summoner's War. Nerdy Mom Club. Shout out to them. I want to see if I could join their guild. Nerdy Mom Club, just for the notoriety. What guild you're in? NMC, the Nerdy Mom Club.
You're out of
Anyway,
control.
I so am. So am. Let's do some summoning. Can I count it down?
Sure.
3, 2, 1. And summon, summon, summon. We're gonna summon faster. That is my goal in life. To see how fast, how much faster
You got to get to
I can
to
summon.
bagel speeds then.
Bagel speed. Well, let's put it this way. I'm much faster than what I was. Just let me
That you
know
are.
when you want me to knock out my um legendary.
Oh yeah, do that last.
No problem. Well, got some lightning. Got a wind undine, which I am going to feed so much. All right, one more mystical. Got lightning again, and then I'll do my legendary.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Legend.
Dairy.
Well, got a new one. Got a
Ooh,
new one.
water sniper. Very nice.
Water sniper. Very cool. And I have his transmog. Excellent. And that was even before the legendary scroll. This was just for mysticals. Dude, if I get a light sniper, then I have more of them.
You'll probably get one because I'm cursed.
Cause what? That's right. You're cursed with those two LD Nat 5s. Horrible.
So cursed.
Terrible.
Oh, terrible. I'm telling you, Sylvia is
So
just all things to all people.
that's what I mean.
I love
And you
her.
got Silver from a wish, not even an
Not even,
LND.
not even
All
a
right.
scroll from a wish.
Everyone do your legendary scroll dance because
Well, hold on. Let
we're
me
getting
shake some
lightning.
monsters. Okay, I did it. You got a 4. See, the shaking worked.
It was legendary, so I was gonna get a
Shh.
Anyway,
Hold on. I'm
Fire
shaking a
Pirate
monster,
Captain.
and I'm going to open one L&D for funsies here.
Okay.
Okay, shaking did nothing, but hey, look, I got another Dark Taoist because now I'm getting rewarded for having fed that, or I mean, awoken that first one.
See? So that's two
Hilarious.
that you have that are unawoken. Is that
See,
it?
see.
Excellent. Good. See? Look at that. I knew you were gonna get another one. I just did. Who we shouting out, Lightstar?
My lovely wife for being from Ireland on this day of everybody being Irish with her. Of course,
Yes.
she's the best. Um, everybody in our Discord, as always. Of course, all our friends of the show, Beans, Childish, JD the Gamer, Nelly the God,
Definitely.
Evan, Seppi, Gigi, all wonderful, supportive, loving people who are just so good to have, appreciating us and helping us along.
Absolutely.
And of course, you, as always, like wouldn't be any fun if you were not around.
Thank you. All of those people, in addition to my shout out of this week.
Hans Sloan.
Actually, one is Hans Sloan, of course, for the Irishman living in Jamaica and inventing chocolate milk while in Jamaica.
I
So,
mean,
also want to shout out the best diner in Jersey. Now that's saying
mm,
a lot because there's a lot of diners in Jersey, but this place is like a 3-star Michelin restaurant disguised as a Jersey diner. I'm talking about Top's Diner. Top's Diner is awesome. I've been going here for so long. I have their old business cards. This is one of their new postcards. Greetings from East Newark. The best diner in New Jersey
hmm,
by far. And I lived in Teaneck, which had two awesome diners, the Cedar Lane Grill and Louis Charcoal Pit. And this is still better than both of those spots. Anyway,
dang.
big shout out to Top's Diner. And I really want to shout out the Six Brothers Diner. Unfortunately, it closed. They're in Wayne, right on the border of Wayne and Montclair, and I was there all the time when I went to Montclair State. I am so sad that I hope they reopen. I was around there and looks like they had shuttered their doors. And I mean, big shout out to Six Brothers Diner. Hopefully, you guys get back on track
Mm,
because you guys were awesome, awesome, awesome. But yeah, those are my two shout outs. Also, every Nelly God, JD the Gamer, the Little Beans, Childish, everyone that has sent positive ways waves, to this show and to Light Star and I. So definitely want to shout all you folks out.
Rolling with the homies. Well,
So that pretty much wraps it up for this particular
it
episode of A Monster Rancher's Guide to Summer's War. New episodes on Saturday. We stream on Wednesdays.
ish.
We look good doing it.
Well, one of us looks good, and then I'm here too, so.
Whatever. MRGTSW on Instagram, MRGTSW on Facebook, at Rancher's Guide on Twitter, MRGTSW on Reddit, MRGTSW on YouTube if you're watching this. Oh, we stream on Twitch also, Lightstar777 Gaming, MRGTSW on YouTube if you want to watch this over here. Over here. Yeah, that's it for me, but I'm all good.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Don't drink too much if you have something important to do tomorrow. Drink enough to feel good, and then some water.
Hydrate.
See this? Hydrate.
Hydrate.
Live long and prosper, everybody.
Live long and prosper.